year before that.
Are you serious?
Through man. That's how we got to meet Kutuano. And then,
Are you serious?
yes.
Okay, no, that I don't remember.
You know why you don't remember?
Yeah.
We had a big fight. You're with Rofhiwa. Wow, you're still serving a worship team.
Yeah, no, I do, man. I've been doing that since 2009, same church up until now.
After the awards,
Doesn't matter.
you come back the following week.
Yeah, we win the award on a Saturday night. Tomorrow morning, we go to church with the award just for us to celebrate, and that's it. It's gone. The award is gone. It's no longer about awards anymore. It's about serving. I believe in marriage. I love marriage. I'm a family man. I would never get married to get divorced, and I don't love divorce, actually, and I was against it. With my whole life, with my whole being, I was against it. Actually, Ropo is the one who suggested that, bruh, because of time, I think let's just go and do your solo album, and I'll also do a solo album. And he did a solo album, and at that time, I was like, okay, where do I go from here? Of course. So I took a 3-year break.
I remember we were doing a DVD in Mukopane.
Yeah.
And
Hi, bruh. Yo, that DVD was okay. Okay.
So you've never had a dream of going to Joyous?
Honestly, no.
Really?
No. I think because I've always thought like I'm a superstar.
Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again on another production, A Fire. This is hot. We've got a brother of mine here today, all the way from Takie Ndou. Close enough. He decided to grace us with his presence, and it's an honor. It's an honor. Once you know who I'm talking about, you'll understand that we're dealing with international superstars. But before we get into it, please make sure that you join us on our social media platforms, the GRP Podcast on YouTube and the Gospel Reality Podcast on all platforms. Without further ado, I forgot to ask him to bring his DVD, but he promised me that I'll get it very soon because this space is an advertising space and you'll be paying very soon. The brother I've got next to me is none other than Mr. Takie Ndou. And Aurin? Nobody won. Busybody.
Yeah.
So you being here today speaks volumes.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. I mean, we come a long way. So I wouldn't refuse the invite. Yeah, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
so I was trying my Venda, but my Venda is like airtime, MTN.
Oh,
very quick.
It's depleted.
Very quick.
My friend airtime. No, I understand.
But it's not bad.
But no, it's not bad.
So people don't know that I invited you in Venda, and you replied to me in Venda.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I could read what you wrote.
Yeah, but the problem is the Venda that we spoken there was so deep. I thought, is this the KG I know or it's someone else? Because this sounds like a Venda guy.
No, I've got a Venda guy who does my autocorrect, you see.
No. I saw that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll respond in Venda, but this KG, it's not Venda.
No.
This one is speaking perfect Venda.
No, I typed it and I sent it to him and he said, no, your grammar is wrong.
Okay.
He said I was right, but my grammar was wrong.
Okay. Wow, well done, man.
Then I thought, no, you know what, let me, I'll conduct this interview in Venda, but, I'm accommodating everyone.
No, I appreciate the effort, man. Well done on that.
You good, my brother?
I'm good, man.
I make it my mission to learn languages. I think it's very important.
Great. Yeah, exactly. Especially African languages.
Especially African languages. And if you didn't know, that's actually why you came. The diversity that we require all over. But before we get into that, people don't know. Your name is Takie, but your full name is actually Takalani.
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Yeah.
Ndou.
Yeah.
Ndou is elephant, ne?
Yeah.
I'm teaching that one.
So so we can translate my name to Zulu.
To Zulu, ne?
Yeah. So in Takarani in Zulu means Jabulani.
Jabulani.
Ndou Ndlovu.
Yeah.
So I can just easily become Zulu if I want. Jabulani Ndlovu.
Bunch of elephants that are happy.
Exactly.
You good, my brother?
Ah, no, I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
You grew up in Venda, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of your area?
Village. I was born and bred and grew up at a village called Hamocha. I would want to call it the village of success.
Village of success.
Yeah.
But it's very successful because before you get to Hamocha,
Yeah.
there's a market. Chakuma.
Yeah.
Where if you've been to Venda, you must have stopped there and bought.
There's no way you can just
fruits and veg.
Exactly.
The freshest.
Straight from the trees.
I'm telling you, straight, directly. And you can taste it's different.
Yeah, I mean, it's organic. It's just the trees that we grow. Almost every backyard at home. We've got mango trees, we've got lychees, evo, all kinds of trees. You'll find that every home has that.
Yeah. But you don't buy them?
If there's something that I don't have at home anymore, like maybe Evos, I don't have an Evo tree anymore at home.
Are you the only one?
I can pass by Chakum.
Are you the only one? In Venda?
We cut our Evo trees.
Oh. After 20-something years,
it doesn't give you proper Evos anymore.
And how was your upbringing in Venda?
Well, I grew up in a Christian family, so not too much drama, obviously. I loved soccer, so my life was just school, soccer, church. And I had like my own homemade drums and guitar at home. So if at soccer they don't put me in the team, go back home and play my music.
Also, soccer was not so good. If they don't put you in the team, it means you were shaking.
Yeah, I think maybe there were better players than me.
But were you good?
I think so, because I used to score goals.
Really?
I was a striker. And so every time they put me, I would score a goal.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's you, Lungindala,
yeah.
and Dumim Koksta.
Yeah.
That I know that.
Well, I think Dumi is just a little bit on a better level than I am, because I see now he still plays with some professional teams. So.
And Lungi?
Lungindala also, I've played with him a little bit. Yeah, he's good. He's good. So yeah, I think I'm almost on that level also.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you're very good.
Yeah.
But Lungi was good. I played with him.
Yeah. No. I do play soccer. Even at church now, we do have a soccer team, so I'm part of the team.
Wow, that's one thing. Yes. I didn't know you play soccer.
Yeah, I do, but I don't play a lot because imagine I go and play a soccer match
and you break.
Saturday morning, I get injured, I've got an event to perform at Saturday evening. So I'm always mindful of that. So even when I'm playing, I don't play to my full potential because I'm always careful.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the problem lately.
I see. And what's your soccer team? You look like you're carrying a heavy burden in your heart.
Yeah.
What's your soccer team?
Yeah, no, I'm carrying a lot of heavy burdens. Yes, my first local team obviously is Kaizer Chiefs. I'm all about peace and love. So that's my team, and then when we go that side to England, then it's Liverpool, another heavy burden. Then we go to Spain, and then it's Real Madrid. So yeah, I'm carrying a lot of heavy burdens, but I'm fine, man. I'm happy.
So how Real Madrid, Liverpool?
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs.
Who do you support when they play? Because they just whipped us.
Yeah, they just play together. Honestly, I was really hoping for Liverpool to win because we've been through a rough patch. So I love both, but I was hoping for Liverpool. But when Real won, I was still happy. But I would have really wanted Liverpool at least to rise above and maybe focus on the Champions League rather than the Premier League.
If we have to talk about Liverpool, we would say they're in Getsman.
Hey, bro. So I think I've come to peace that there's no silverware whatsoever this season.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, we're fine. We're just playing for vibes.
No, for vibes. And tell me, who did you grow up at home? Did you grow up both parents?
Yeah, when I grew up, fortunately I had both parents until I was 15 years old. And then one Monday morning when I came back home, I found my house full of people. I saw the pastor there. It was unusual, so I could feel that something happened. And then when we got home, then they just told us that my father was involved in a car accident. And yeah, I was 15 years old by that time, and that's when I lost my dad. And then we were raised by my mother ever since for the past 25 years now. My mom is the one who raised us as a single mother, and well done to her.
Well done to her. Look at you, I mean, look at you. Well dressed, well spoken, proper singer, and then your mom supported you in everything you do.
Yeah, my mom really supports me. Obviously, when I finished my tertiary studies, I graduated as an IT specialist.
You're not paid?
Unfortunately, we didn't have money for me to go to school, so I had to look for a job. And the only job I could find was at the Barnyard Theatre in Alberton. By that time, it was called the Bomber Theatre.
Yes.
So that's where I worked for 2 years. I started off as a cleaner, and then I think 2-3 months later, they promoted me to check tickets at the door. And I worked there for 2 years, and I was financing my studies until I finished and passed with a few distinctions. Yeah, so that's how it happened.
But the Barnyard Theatre couldn't hear that you've got a voice.
No, they didn't know. I was just there to make sure that I financed my studies, and I was just singing in the worship team at home. But I think God was preparing me for the stage and the limelight, because when I was there, obviously I would watch the shows, and I was learning a lot, and I knew that, you know what, one day
I worked at the
that's what I want
Barnyard
to make.
Theatre.
Yeah.
And if I could sing, ooh, you know?
Yes, actually at some point I was doing your job, because at some point they asked me to come and operate
The follow spot.
Yeah, the follow spot.
Yeah.
So I used to enjoy it, but it was tough because you have to focus the whole show.
100%.
Once you look there and you miss the artist, they come and scream at you. You see, so I operated the follow spot for a good year also.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see, because I doubt you remember when we met.
Yeah, no, I think I do.
Where did we meet?
Which show was it? But I remember after that we started talking about doing my DVD license.
You met me way before that.
Are you serious?
Through Man. That's how you got to meet Kutuano. And then,
Are you serious?
yes.
Okay, no, that I don't remember.
You know why you don't remember?
Yeah.
We had a big fight. You're with Rufio.
Are you serious?
And to be honest with you, man,
Yeah.
when I look at you now, I'm like, this is the same time. Because when the first time I met you,
Yeah.
I hated you. I was like, this is Because you were much younger. You were with Rufio, and we were putting a show together.
Yeah.
Just finished college. I was,
Yeah.
you know, hey, borrow me a speaker.
Yeah.
Just to make a show happen.
Yeah.
Because obviously you were not paying us.
Yeah.
And I tried my best. I got a desk. I thought you were good. Mr. Sound Guy, I don't like this mic. I'm trying.
Just like that.
Because Rufuo's mic was sounding better because of a better mic.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, the mics are not the same.
He gave me up here.
I know.
I thought this guy hates me. I thought you had a personal thing against me.
Imagine.
And to see you years later with Kutuano, I was very happy.
Yeah. No, man. I think I was still young. You're getting in the industry. You are raw. I think we were very raw at that time. Me and Rufo were very raw. We were just rough. We were reckless. The only thing that we knew we had was talent. You see, but the talent was not pruned. The character was not really developed properly. So we had to go through character pruning. I think now that you're reminding me, and I realized that really happened.
Do you know where? It was at church by Sheraton Hotel.
Yeah.
Church there.
Yeah, no, I remember.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Opposite
Sheraton
the Sheraton. Yeah, there's a church about
2010
I
or something.
remember. Yeah. No, I
But
remember.
we'll get to that. I want to understand your introduction to church.
Yeah.
So from Venda, I'm assuming your church is worship house.
No, I grew up at Faith Mission.
Faith Mission?
Yeah, so I grew up at Kumbe Apostolic Faith Mission under the leadership of Dr. T.A. Mabuta. So that's where I was brought up. And immediately when my dad passed on, that's when actually I decided to join the worship team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a month later, because my life was meaningless then. Didn't have a mentor, didn't have a father, didn't have someone to look up to. So I went to the pastor. I'm like, can I please sing? I just felt the edge, to sing and serve at church, and that healed me.
Yeah.
That was my healing. Like music saved my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I think because worship house is such a rich culture of music.
Yeah.
That because it's about 15 minutes from your house. It's not that far.
No, it is 15 minutes, but worship house is recent. It's not such an old church.
But
Yeah.
it's been there. Remember they were in a big warehouse before they moved there.
Exactly, but they started I think around 99, 2000, and that's the time I was already passing my metric.
Is it that young?
Yeah.
No, I remember it from that warehouse.
Yes.
I thought it was an old church.
Yeah. No, actually at the warehouse they were just starting.
But they were just starting.
Yeah.
There was proper keyboards that side.
No, they had the best sound, best musicians in Venda. Like that was the ultimate. Yeah, worship house was like, you know what? If you want to do music, you go and check what they're doing.
You didn't end up there.
No, not
besides going to perform there.
Not at all. I've never really been part of worship house. I've never been featured with worship, even though I really love worship house, and I would have wanted to do a song with them, but up until today, I've never done a song with them.
Yeah, no, I heard you. They heard you.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it will happen soon. I'm sure it will happen soon. It should happen.
It should happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's very important that you, what do you call it? From where you come from, also uplift. Exactly. I know you work with a lot of artists, even up and coming artists. You don't mind, so it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be a good thing. And serving in church is not a problem for you?
No, not at all. I've been serving at church ever since then. When I joined the first worship team in Venda, I came to Joburg, joined Bethesda Bible Church, and Pastor Tiwa Bonilichade. I served there for about 9 years. From 2000 until 2009, and then when I left and moved this side of Pretoria, then I joined Grace Mission Church International, which is in Valal, under the leadership of Pastor Edgar Nilbarani, and I've been serving there ever since 2009 up until today. I'm still part of the worship team. When they asked us to wear uniform, I wear uniform like everyone else. If I'm asked not to sing, I don't sing. If I'm asked to sing a certain song and beg, I do that. I'm there to
You
sing.
even beg?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's church, man. For me, church, when I'm at church, I'm not at church as Takie Ndou, but I'm at church as a servant. As Tagarani or Brindo, I'm there to serve. I'm there to submit. And for me, I believe that is one of the biggest secrets that has kept me relevant up until now, that has grounded me, and that's where you also learn humility, to remain humble, love people, respect people, which back then was an issue. You see? So I also thank my church and my pastor. He's done a lot in mentoring me and also just developed me as a human being personally.
Wow, you still serve in a worship team?
No, I do, man. I've been doing that since 2009, same church up until now.
After the awards?
Doesn't matter.
You come back the following week?
Yeah, we win the awards on a Saturday night. Tomorrow morning, we go to church with the award just for us to celebrate, and that's it. It's gone. The award is gone. It's no longer about awards anymore. It's about serving.
Wow, I can safely say I know you better now.
Yeah.
The mic saga continues. So you say you serve after winning an award, after coming on stage. Your first thought is, tomorrow I need to be on stage.
I remember recently I was just performing at the Summer Awards. The previous night, and in the morning I was at church singing like everyone else in the worship team, and the pastor was just really excited to see me back at church, and and everyone was just celebrating because we really had a great performance. And I think the gospel performance at the Summer Awards was actually the highlight of the Summer Awards, because that's what everyone started talking about, to say, now that it's gospel, we can see some vibe. You see, because I remember that night, I don't know what was happening, but it was just flat. but God always shows himself in those kind of situations.
Wow. But is it time now that the industry at large opens it up to gospel artists? Because I've seen Kirk Franklin performs at whatever you can think of.
Yeah.
But gospel, you are booked at what, churches?
Yeah.
Music, gospel events. Where else?
Okay, fortunately for me, I also get a lot of bookings at corporate events and also just your secular events. I would be the only gospel artist.
But that's my point.
Choice. So I enjoy that because that's for me to go and represent God. I remember in December just before my birthday celebration, I was invited to enjoy to go and perform at a chill out. And everyone was there for God. You could see that all these people come from church. And something happened somewhere.
Yeah.
But they love God because people started singing with me. Some even started crying. You get what I'm saying? Because now they realize the power that God has. And God is not a respecter of men. God can be present everywhere, anywhere, anyhow.
And you're 100%. I remember at an event, a DJ came and they played a gospel song.
Yeah.
Remember when Lebos Khobel?
Exactly.
Lion of Judah.
Yeah.
Hey, I could see worshippers there.
Exactly. Thank you.
On the crowd.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thank God for those kind of platforms because for me, when I got there, then it's just purely about changing lives and preaching to people. For me, that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I respect about you, when you read the tabloids, and especially this is the elephant in the room right now, when people go through a divorce, it's people are quick to drag each other on social media, but you didn't do that. You accepted it gracefully, and you moved on, respecting firstly your ex-wife and the mother of your kid. But there's one question I want to ask you. Is there at a point, because I'm also there, is there at a point where you see, I see trouble coming? Or was it a surprise? Or how? We're divorcing now.
Sure, man. I wouldn't say it was a surprise, but it was a surprise. But I had seen it coming. I think it's something that I was made aware of during the course of the marriage at some point. And probably after a year or so, it happened. So it was not necessarily a surprise.
Oh, okay. And the last question, because I always ask my friends who have divorced this, is there nothing within the marriage you could feel, okay, we could make it work just for this part? Whether it's kids, whatever.
For me, there's always a reason to make it work, and I believe in marriage. I love marriage. I'm a family man. I would never get married to get divorced, and I don't love divorce actually, and I was against it. With my whole life, with my whole being, I was against it. And unfortunately, it happened because it's two people that are not agreeing.
It's not just your choice.
Exactly,
100%.
exactly. So but I believe that there's always a reason to make it work. There's a solution for every problem.
And I want to ask you now. Now you're singing. Good-looking man, well-dressed, superstar.
Amen.
You are in trouble now.
I know.
I listen to my friend. Just so you can gather your thoughts, because you're thinking, hey, how am I going to answer this one? Friends of mine who are divorced. I'm like, manje. They say, brah, in the past, I used to say, I've got a wife. Now, what do you say? So, what do you say?
Ash, for me, bruh, it's difficult, especially for me, because even places where I go, there's a lot of churches where I get invited, and most people are not aware of the situation. So I would still be referred as somebody's husband and all of that. And I gladly accept that. I don't have anything against it because they don't know. And I don't think I'm going to be explaining myself everywhere.
100%.
So I accept that, but I also don't want to be saying I'm single or all of that. No.
Oh, yes, I see.
I've learned from that whole experience. I've learned to just keep my private life very private because people love me and people want me for my ministry. Without the gift and the anointing, then there's no Takie Ndou. So for me, that's what I put forth. That's what I put forward because that's what I'm about. That's what God has called me to do. So private life, I try to keep it as private as I can.
No, that's good. But I know you've been to Greek, Lungi's church a lot.
Yeah.
You've not seen anything there. We'd like to have you there, Phil.
At my church also. At my church also, my church is very blessed also. I've been to Greek. Greek is very blessed. I've been to my friend's Pastor Colin's church. Very blessed. But I don't think I'm looking at those kind of places. No, I'm not looking there. I think I'm trying to avoid meeting people at those kind of spaces.
Meeting people?
Yeah, because you would find that in those kind of spaces, either people are your fans and they love you for the gift. So once you get someone and they love you because of the gift and they don't love you for who you are, then things
But now it's difficult now because I can imagine you probably were with your wife before the fame, but now you have to get somebody with the fame. So you don't know.
Exactly. You see, it's not easy to just trust a person.
Yeah.
You see, I think it might take time, but
good luck, my brother. You need all the luck in the world with this one.
Yeah, no. I'm believing God for the grace. I'm believing God for the grace. You see,
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Load shedding will.
Yeah.
They'll switch off the generator, you know that.
Yeah, so...
well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to explain what that was. Our reality now, our new normal. Do you experience load shedding at your house?
Yeah. No, we do experience it. Last night, I think it came back, and I think maybe they thought they made a mistake and they switched it off again after 10 minutes. Then it came back again after 30 minutes. So it's just a mess.
International winning artist. Solar. No, you must get a solar now. Eh?
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I've not really been encouraged to get it because I'm almost traveling. Every weekend I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think it's something that I should look at,
Ne?
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with Take's love life. We're done. Ladies, he is looking for the grace. So let's take it to your music now. Ne?
Yeah.
How you introduced to music. So you told me that you joined the worship team first after your dad passed away.
Yeah.
And your encouragement to do music, especially gospel.
Yeah.
But when I listen to your voice, I can't. I think you'd also fit in Afro jazz.
Yeah, Afro pop, yeah.
Afro pop. Well, Ray Perry. You can do what Ray Perry did.
Yeah, that's a legend, man. That's a legend.
But I'm saying,
thanks, man.
Why gospel?
For me, honestly, when I came to Joburg and I was studying and being part of the worship team, there was this other pianist at church. So there was this man who had a studio. So we would just go and spend our time in the studio.
Yeah.
So I remember I did 7 R&B songs. Yeah, I wrote R&B songs like, first time I laid my eyes on your face, I just fell in love with you right there. The beauty that I saw on you touched my heart, and the smile you gave to me moved my heart. So that was like the first R&B song I wrote.
Oh, that can be a worship song, eh?
So we recorded those songs, man. And we wanted to release them. I thought that's what I want to do. I thought like, you know what, I just want to do love music and just, you see. But then I think God had other ideas. And it didn't work out. We didn't release all those songs. So from there I realized, you know what, actually I'm not even called for that. Let me just follow my calling, and my calling is to give people hope through music. So hence gospel. So for me, I think it was not much of a choice. It's more of a calling than me choosing to do it. So I think I am called to do it. And I love R&B, I love Afro soul, I love Kwaito.
Especially the old R&B.
Yeah, the old R&B. I mean,
Thomas.
yeah, exactly. Your Boys to Men.
Boys to Men.
Brian McKnight, Luther Vandross. You see, those are the music we were listening to. So I've got nothing against any kind of music, but for me, gospel was more of a calling.
So you'd feature in a piano song?
I would, as long as I sing about the good news. I would.
No, this man is a pastor.
Yes, I would, as long as my message stays the same.
Stays the same. Yeah. You don't want to be diluted there.
Exactly.
So you said you came to, when did you come to Joburg?
That was in the year 2000.
Year
Exactly
2000.
in the year 2000, yeah.
At that time, was there Takie&Rofhiwa?
No. The year 2000, it was me, worship team, doing this R&B thing.
Yeah.
Then Rofhiwa came to Joburg in 2003. And then that's when we met. Actually, we knew each other from Venda. He was part of a group. I was part of a group.
Of course.
Yeah. Then when he came to Joburg 2003, then he joined our church. We sing together. He already had an album, so he was an artist. People loved him in Venda. He was doing well as an artist. So 2004, he was doing his second album. So he's like, bruh, I would love to feature you. So he featured me in one song. That song became big. People loved it in Venda.
What song was that?
Loved, Ribana ba Jeso,
Oh, yes.
moya. Then 2004 is like, bro, let me produce your album. So we, actually by that time, Hendrik was starting a recording label called Morangi Productions. So he signed me and Rofhiwa under Morangi Productions. So Rofhiwa produced my album. So 2004, Rofhiwa had an album, I had an album. Hendrik went on and signed Andy Lebi.
Yeah.
So now we were 3 artists. So we were terrible. We used to do promotions at the streets, shopping centers, taxi ranks. So we were like the superstars of the streets at that time.
Of course. I want, before you... So when Hendrik says he was the first person to invest in you, he was right, Miss.
He was very right. He was very, very right. He's the first person to pay for an album for me in studio, took me to studio, recorded. I'm sure he was there almost every session, every studio session we had. So he would advise on songs like, no, don't do these songs. Do this one. You see this one? It's going to work. So he is honestly the first person that invested on my career.
Because I've heard him say that.
He's
like,
very correct.
Is he really?
No, he's right.
Ne?
He's right. He deserves that credit. He's the first person.
No, Kotzimolo, you heard it, ne?
Yeah.
He said I mustn't call him Mukoba, I must call him Kotzimolo.
Kotzimolo, yes. So yeah, I mean, and I thank God for him, and I thank God that he is also still doing well with the Morangi Productions. It's a business that is really growing.
It's growing nicely.
Yes. But that's also where he started, and we started together, and we have also grown respectively. Rofhiwa has grown also.
Of course.
I've also grown. So we thank God.
So you guys seem like a duo from heaven. You guys, when you go to a place, you'd really do your thing. Who says in the conversation, it's time for me to go now?
Hey. I think it just happened naturally.
Ne?
What happened? I mean, you know, when people start growing apart, something should have happened. I think Rofhiwa was branching into business.
Oh.
So yeah, he was starting to establish himself in the business world and all of that. So I think it took a bit of his time from the music. So you could see that the focus was no longer really in music. So I think that's when we started shifting apart. Okay. Then 2 years later, we're like, you know what? Actually, Rofhiwa is the one who suggested that, because of time, I think let's just go and do your solo album. And I'll also do a solo album. And he did a solo album. And at that time, I was like, okay, where do I go from here?
Of course.
So I took a 3-year break from the industry. And at that time, there was a friend of mine called Mporigalo, the late. So yeah, I produced his albums. I produced his first album and I produced his DVD. So that's where my focus was.
You produced
I produced that album, I co-wrote most of the songs.
Really?
On the
Did you
album.
write that song?
No. He wrote it.
That beautiful
He
song.
wrote the song. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. So he wrote the song. I produced him. I produced the DVD.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just 3 years in the industry, and God took him. Yeah, he passed
Actually,
away.
that song, ne?
Yeah,
I remember the first time I listened to it, I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
But man,
There was just something up. The anointing was just too much.
it was just too
on
much.
That man, yeah.
That man gone too soon. Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Gone very soon.
Yeah.
So now you come to Joburg,
Yeah.
and like what a lot of people say,
Yeah.
when you get here, like who can say it, man?
Yeah.
The gospel industry was predominantly Zulu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe to a certain degree it still is now.
Yeah. I wanted to say that I also think it's
Yeah.
still 70% there.
Yeah, it still is. How did you navigate? Firstly, the language barrier. It's only now we are understanding Venda and Tonga.
Yeah.
Before that,
Exactly.
it was a
Bruh, it was
uphill.
it was difficult, man. It was like impossible for you to sing a Venda song and people take notice. Like we tried with Rofhiwa, we do proper Venda songs, and at that time, I believe like not to be arrogant or anything, but I think at that time we were the best duo. We were the best gospel duo. There's no duo that their voices just were
Gelled,
like that.
yes.
Yeah, no, I listened to gospel duos before. They would never just click and gel. Like Rofhiwa would do something and I know what he's gonna do next and I know what to do. Like just like that. Even today now, if you call us on stage without a rehearsal, I know like we're just gonna nail it.
Yeah.
You see, but we couldn't have a breakthrough because of the language barrier. People were not ready to listen to Chivenda. You see, so, but that was a nice challenge because that challenge taught us to say, okay, rather sing in their languages so that you get their attention and maybe they will learn one Venda song. And it worked because now when we started doing Zulu songs, Sotho songs, people would listen to us and started following us, and then they would find some Venda songs there and they started learning Venda bit by bit.
Yes.
You see, and that's what I still do now in my albums. Like some of my biggest songs are Swati songs, Zulu songs, Sotho songs, and now because people now they do notice Chivenda, even some of my Venda songs are big songs.
So, with your songs that are not necessarily Venda, do you write it and take it to somebody, or to check if the grammar is fine, or
no,
is it just you?
Yeah, with Zulu, I think I'm good now. With Xhosa, I'm also good. With Swati, I'm not yet perfect, so I must always have someone. Yeah, I must always have someone to help me with the lyrics, interpretation, and all of that. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I can write some of the languages alone. I've done Shona songs. I will always have someone to help me. In my next project, I want to do a Swahili song because I believe that should be like the African language.
Ooh.
So.
No, I agree with it.
Yeah.
So, do you also believe in this one Africa?
That's how we were before. So if we become one Africa, we're just going back to who we were. Yeah.
And this tribalism in the music industry, acting, I heard it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you think that what also translates to xenophobia?
Of course, definitely, man. Tribalism. I'm against tribalism by all means. That's why I sing in all languages, because I'm just trying to also show people that I'm not a tribalist. I believe in African languages. I believe in being African. We can be united. If my album has about 7 languages in it, you see. So I'm not. The fact that I'm Venda does not mean that I must sing in Venda only to Venda people only. Yeah. I want to minister to everyone that is, especially African. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you, I want to do a Swahili song.
Swahili song.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Swahili, there's Zulu. Yeah. There's, there's all these like other languages that yes. If you listen carefully, because when I heard people speaking Swahili, and I really listened, and I realized, hey man, we're actually one.
Exactly.
So I believe in one Africa.
Exactly.
I went to Zimbabwe December. Yeah. The hassle of going through a border.
Exactly. You see, so for me, tribalism is very limiting, man.
It is.
It's very limiting, and I think it was designed to limit us as African people and just to divide us, because when we are one, African people, when we are one, we are strong, man. And imagine our spirituality. When we pray one prayer as Africans, I've never seen any true spiritual person than an African person. I think Africans are very, very spiritual.
Yeah.
We know how to connect to our God. So imagine if we were one and we could pray in one voice, what would happen? So I think it was just, but I don't want to be political.
No, but you must open the border. Nah, I'm for open the borders. No,
Yeah.
this is
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense that across the
Exactly.
fence from Venda,
Exactly.
which makes it now you're going to Zimbabwe.
Exactly.
There's a person with your surname
Yeah.
struggling for medical health, for food, and then it's a fence that should.
Yeah.
And if they come here, they can. No, man, it doesn't make sense. So this tribalism, it really needs to stop, eh?
Exactly, because you hate your own.
100%.
You hate your own. You're not even supposed to. How can you hate your own?
But I can sense that your blood is red.
Yes, sir.
Before we go to your solo album, please tell up and coming artists the hassle that goes into preparing for a DVD. Not a studio album, a DVD. What are the 3 top headaches?
For me, the stage must be proper. The music must match the stage, and obviously now the post-production can mess up the whole thing. So if post-production, if you record a proper DVD and the proper music, but your mixing and mastering is bad, and the DVD editing is bad, then you are as good as not recording.
But how important is the venue?
Well, the venue contributes obviously to the acoustics and how you can set up your stage. Because some venues are limiting when it comes to stage setup, lighting, and sound. You see, so for me, venue is very important. And also, if you need audience, obviously have the right audience to
100%.
accommodate, the right venue to accommodate the audience that you need.
And paying suppliers?
Well, let's not be lazy to pay. Because sometimes, or actually all the time, I've realized that when you try to cut corners, it will catch up with you during post. You might actually even spend more than you were supposed to spend before.
So the reason I'm bringing this up, I remember we were doing a DVD in Mukopane. And
Hi, bro. Yo, that DVD was okay.
We arrived the day before. We set up the lights. We're done. So that the sound people, when they come in, and then the sound people came. I remember I said to the guy manager, I said, bruh, make a plan with sound now. See, it's 10 o'clock. Make a plan. Don't worry. We'll make a plan. And then I remember you came. Mr. Sound Guy, I don't know what to say to you now.
Like, I was defeated. Man. Do you know that I was supposed to be featured on that DVD? I ended up not singing. Because I was busy running around with sound. Like, it was just that day, I
ended up saying to you at 7 o'clock, I said, we'll never get the sound right. 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We'll never get it. Let it just continue. Airpods, they stopped the DVD and they came to pray for the sound. But the sound guy had a laptop. There was no sound, so they came to my lighting desk. They paid for
the lighting mix.
Oh, that was the most embarrassing show I've ever done.
No, for me too, man. So I think preparation for me, making sure that you get the right suppliers and pay them on time. Even if you have to negotiate, it's okay to negotiate, but make sure that you pay them and you get the right stuff.
And were you producing the lady?
Yes, I was producing that DVD also.
But they managed to salvage one song, but it was a powerful song.
We had to re-sing everything in studio. So line by line, word by word. Thank God that obviously on the DVD it doesn't show. You see, but we had to go and do that. Because there was nothing recorded. the voice was not there. We could just feed it from the drum mics, I think.
Yeah.
So we listened carefully. We picked up the volume. Okay, re-sing everything. And she did that. And at least it came out beautiful. And it's
I
something
remember,
that people could listen to.
because there was a time where electricity, the guy plugged everything on one plug.
Yeah.
So when the song
Once you
picked
once you hit the kick, it goes off.
So I ended up saying, let me see how I can help. I remember the artist sitting backstage. I've never felt so bad. I felt like the sound was mine.
Hey, bro. Yes, I know. I think
That
we learned a
DVD.
lot. Yeah, we learned a lot from that. Yes.
Let's go to your music, man. How many albums do you have now?
I've got together with. Okay, let me start with my solo albums. I did 2 solo albums before Takie&Rofhiwa duo, and then after Takie&Rofhiwa duo, I did 4 albums: the Psalmist, Psalms of Hope, Hope Arise, and The Great Revival.
Hope Arise is still painful to me.
Yeah,
Hey, Pastor dribbled me with that one.
I know.
But
I know. You guys, I don't know. Yeah, well, it's technical politics. Easy. Yeah,
And you know why it's so painful to me? Eh?
Yeah.
There was another DVD I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I rejected it.
Amen. And we were all set and ready.
Yeah,
together with, personally, I've got 6 solo albums.
Yeah.
And the albums that I've done, including the ones with Rofhiwa, then it's 9 in total. So I've done 9 albums in the last 20 years that I've been in the music industry. Yeah.
People don't know you nearly gave up, eh?
Yeah, no, I did. Like I told you, like when Rofhiwa decided, you know what, bro, let's go back to our solo albums and all of that. I took a break and everyone started saying, we knew this one was taking chances. We knew this one was just obviously dependent on Rofhiwa. He cannot make it by himself and all of that. So there were those talks and that nearly depressed me. And it nearly made me give up. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I do have an IT diploma. Let me go back and look for a job. They told me your skills are outdated. We cannot employ you because we'll have to take you back to training. It's going to cost us. So, and we've got young people that are graduating now. So why should we employ you? Yo, bro, I'm like, I felt it. I'm like, okay. So 2013, I decided, I met Tebs David. He used to come a lot to our church. So Tebs David was like, bro, you've not been recording. What's happening? Are you no longer doing music? Why? I can't see you anymore. Yeah. I'm like, no, sir, I'm here. It's just that I've just given up. Like, no, come, let's talk. We talked. It's like, okay, let me take you back to studio. Do you have songs? I'm like, no, I have songs. I write songs all the time. We went back to studio. We did my album titled Psalmist.
Yeah. What was a big song on that?
Yes.
Yes.
And bro, with that album, I was like, no, Tabs, it's fine. We can try, but this is my last album. This music thing, I've given up. I got nominated in all kinds of awards that you can think of, and we kept winning. In that year, I think I won about 7 awards with that album. And for me, that was like my last album I'd given up. Yeah. And the lesson I learned from that I always preach about in my songs is every time you are about to give up, that's when your breakthrough is around the corner. Hallelujah. And the devil is there to steal, to kill, and to destroy so that we don't see the breakthrough. We focus on the problem. We focus on the challenges at that moment. And the breakthrough is just there. But if you give up, most people give up just before their breakthrough, and they will never know because they gave up. Correct. But if you can just hold on a little longer, find every reason not to give up, you will definitely meet your breakthrough.
Oh my goodness. That's a sermon by itself, eh?
Yeah.
Because I remember as COVID, they wanted to evict us from this building.
Hey, man.
Every month was a struggle. Eh?
Hey, that's another thing.
Hey, let's not go back to COVID. You want to depress me. So, is that how Pastor Phil featured you on his...
Exactly.
Because of Tebs, ne?
Because of Tebs, we were working together. We were all working under Tebs.
And you wrote a beautiful song there.
Yeah. Unanda. But yeah, actually, people don't know. When I wrote that song, I was writing it to do it on Pastor Phil's album.
Yes, you did it on his Pastor Phil.
I was writing it for him.
Yes.
So we did it there. but it didn't come out right. It didn't come out the way that I wanted. So I'm like, okay, let me redo the song in my album.
Yeah.
I did it in my album. It became a big song. Now the song became what I thought it should be. And then we did it again on Spirit of Praise. It became even bigger.
Even bigger.
You see,
but now tell me, is it because, does it depend on which company you're assigned to?
Yeah.
Because you had Bold.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah. Bold music. Yeah.
Bold music. And then Spirit of Praise, now it's like a different song altogether.
Yeah.
So that the company that's got you, does it determine how far you can go?
Somehow, because I believe that it's mostly dependent on marketing. Yes, even though you are probably not even signed under any company, how much you push on marketing and promoting the song will definitely determine how big the song can become.
100%.
You see, so but obviously when you talk about Spirit of Praise and the platforms that they have, the clientele that they already have,
100%.
obviously if something is good, it's definitely going to be noticed. Yeah.
But your music, people don't know.
Yeah.
How important is your band to you?
Yeah. Hey, bruh. Yo, my band. I've been working with my band since 2010.
2010.
Yeah, officially since 2010 up until
Since
now.
we fought.
It's 13 years. Yeah. Yeah, for 13 years.
Yeah.
I've been working with the same people.
The same people.
And those guys understand me.
Nah.
I understand them. We used to fight a lot, obviously, still trying to build the brand of the music that we want to do. We used to fight a lot. I'm like, that's too much. Like, no, I don't understand these chords. Is it necessary? You see, so they would also explain to me, no, this is how it goes. This is why we should do it. And we try it and people appreciate it. And I'm like, oh, so you were right. You see, and also from my side, also like we learn from each other and we've been growing together. And for me, it's one of the best bands in the country when it comes to music production. So I really appreciate them, man. And I feel like the commitment and the loyalty has been paying off and is paying off for us right now.
What I love about them is because they spend so much time together.
Yeah.
Even their thinking.
Exactly.
It probably doesn't take that much time for rehearsal.
Not at all.
They get it.
Not at all. Actually, the more rehearsals we do, they start getting agitated. Like, bruh, we've been doing this thing. Let's just go and record.
Yeah. But they're good.
Yes, yeah.
And how did Kutlwano become your producer?
Yeah, so with Kutlwano, we definitely attending the same church. He's been serving at the same church as far as I've been since 2009. He's our pianist at church, and I also thank God for his loyalty at church and his commitment. And for me, we just grew together. Also at church, every Sunday we sing.
And he
together.
gets you, of course.
Yeah, so we have that understanding at church. We have that understanding outside of church also. So I'm like, bro, let's do this thing together. You see, so yeah. So he's brilliant, man. I think he's one of the most underrated producers or MDs.
100%.
But for me, he's the best in the country. Not because of my music, not because I work with him. He is just the best in the country. He's brilliant. And the fact that people don't really know him does not mean that he's not the best. Yeah.
He's an underdog.
Yeah, exactly. But he's the best. The productions that he has done. And I mean, he has produced a couple of songs for Dr. Tumi also.
People don't know.
Yeah, he has produced for a lot of big artists.
Yeah. And he's quiet, you'll never say,
That's one thing I like about him. He's humble. He does not, and also I've learned that from him, to say, let the work speak for you. Don't speak for your work. You see? So he lets his work speak for him.
But now, I look at your production team.
Yeah.
Manu is also a great producer.
Exactly.
And Kutlwano,
Sneaky Way also
producers actually. Yeah.
Tepo, the lead guitarist, is a producer also. And if we have to go to the second case, Sepcha, Kunen, he's also a producer. So everyone is a producer. So I'm working with 5 producers.
5 producers. But when you listen to your music, I mean, when I listen to not Babeng Site, the other Swati one,
Imvula
Yet. I listen to that, so I'm like, okay, nicely done. And then you read 1 Kings 18. Like, hey, man.
Exactly. That's the song.
Like it's spiritual.
That's where the song comes from.
Really?
That's just where the song comes from. That's it.
Just like, to loosely translated,
Yeah.
when a cloud comes with the size of a fist,
Yeah.
and it becomes a storm.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you might despise it.
Exactly. There's no rain that will come out of there. And Elijah says, even if this cloud looks at as small as a hand, but go and tell people that the big rain is coming.
That's another level of faith. No, man, no. When I read it, I was like, so this man, because remember you grow into certain artists, and obviously I knew your music, and because when I got that, I started listening to everything else properly. You know, because South Africans, we've got this thing now. It's a trend. We must listen to international. But if we give our South African music proper chance.
Hey, KJ, I've been saying, and I keep saying, I don't understand why, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't understand why people always identify songwriters with people that write English songs. And when some of us write a lot of songs in our African languages, people don't even think of you as a songwriter.
Correct.
But, I mean, every African song was written by someone.
Exactly.
And we write beautiful songs. So for me, I also want to teach people that worship is not necessarily English songs.
Volume, please.
You get what I'm saying? And songwriting is not, you are not a great songwriter because you write in English songs only. You can be a great songwriter writing Venda songs only. You can be a great songwriter writing Zulu songs only. There's one of the guys that is, for me, is one of the best songwriters. And I know people have never thought about him as a songwriter, and that is Tina Zungu.
No, he's brilliant.
Because he writes in Zulu, people will ignore him.
Guys,
but the songs that he writes, that man.
Tina Zungu, that guy is a genius songwriter. You've got what did he say? I think you download the songs.
You see.
Do you know what my favorite song of yours is? It's not Babeng Site. It's not Unandawa. It's not Imvula. It's Ulukile.
Hey,
that song.
Hey man, that song, okay, that one is deep song. That song, what I've learned about that song, that's a song for pastors. Like, I get comments from that song, mainly from pastors, 90% from pastors. I think the normal audience, no, they just want to go to the obvious songs. But that one is for pastors, like every time, like pastors. So maybe you have the pastoral calling. That's why you love that song.
Come on. You know that song, ne? I remember the first time I listened to that song. I just put in a sub in my car. And it came on, and I was listening. And then, when I Modib. But you know, you're driving, you want to cry. That song is, you've got no idea. Like, if the gospel industry was fair, people would know a lot of songs, but that one, like, you know, when you ask yourself, why can't people hear the song?
Exactly. I think I was saying it in December. I think people don't really know my best songs. People know the songs that they want to hear, like Babeng Site, simple songs. But I've got best songs in the albums that people don't know. And I'm glad that you picked it up.
That song for me, that is. And who writes your songs?
I write 90% of my songs, from lyrics to melodies. And I've had my friend Colin Maluleke writing a couple of songs for me also in the last 3 albums. So you'll just throw in one, especially the English worship songs. You will throw in 1 or 2 in every album. So, and then Babeng Site was written by Vumi. He calls himself Vumi Prosperity. He's the one who wrote Babeng Site.
Really?
Beautiful song,
Did you ever think your hit song, I think Babeng Site, in terms of your songs, recognition.
No, of course it's number 1.
It stands up there. Did you ever think a Swati song would be your best song?
No, not at all. Actually, even when I called Vumi, I'm like, hey, bro, I just want to try a different language. And I remembered that you are Swati. Please work on a Swati song for me.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just to have another language in the album. I had big songs in that album, like Ulukile. Like if you go to my Hope Arise album, every song can be a hit song.
That's why I've got beef with that album.
Yes,
and I love it.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there, but let's not go there. But what Shona song did you write?
There is...
I have not heard the Shona song.
There's a song that I do on my latest album, and it says, Mucha wona sununguru ya Yehova nyararai, iwe nyararai.
I must have missed that one.
It means you will see the hand of the Lord
Yeah.
in the land of the living, so calm down, relax, don't panic. The Egyptians that you see today, you will see them no more. Bye-bye Egypt, hello to Canaan. So bye-bye to the old and hello to the new.
Wow.
It's a proper song also.
I must check it out.
It's just that it's Shona, so
Yeah.
I think Shona is still a bit limited.
Because I'm still on Hope Arise, that album.
I know,
and
man.
when I want to go to
A lot of
a
people, not
Shona
only
song,
you alone, yeah.
when I want to go to a Shona song,
Yeah.
I go to Kulili Bebe.
Or Take Shaw.
Yeah, but I love the song that Lugi did.
Yeah.
Simudzama Ogwako.
Yeah. That's a beautiful
So
Shona.
I need to immerse myself and learn these
languages.
other songs.
Yeah.
And on Spirit of Praise.
Yeah.
But before we go there, what made you go to Spirit of Praise?
For me, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie, it was a dream. It was a dream that I always had, to be part of Spirit of Praise.
Really?
And when I started doing well in the industry, I'm like, why are they not calling me? It's because I'm doing well. I think, now I'm at a stage where I can fit there.
Yeah.
And the call didn't come. I'm like, okay, I gave up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? If that's not a path for me, I'm fine.
That's
I think
fine.
God is doing something where I am, so I'm happy where I am.
Yeah.
You see, and then I just get this call from Bishop. Son, we are going to record. Wouldn't you want to be part of the new project? And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to discuss logistics. I'm in.
Yeah.
I will talk logistics when I'm already in.
Yeah.
You see, then we met with Abu Aubrey, Abu Matthew, and we had good discussions, good meetings, and that's how I became part of Spirit of Praise 7 and now 8.
Yeah.
And I'm so humbled.
But what's the first song you did?
Unandaba.
Unandaba, yes.
That's the song I did with Spirit, and I did Jesus Is Mine also.
And Jesus Is Mine.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested in that song you did, You're Wearing Mazayon.
Yeah.
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 So do you also believe in interdenominational churches coming together?
Exactly, man. For me, like, I think I'm too much of an African. I don't know. Maybe it's just something about me.
Hey, man, you're dealing with me, man. Like, if we kill denomination, I think it would be powerful, man.
Exactly. Like, imagine everyone comes with their different kind of worship. Because we know we're worshiping one God.
Correct.
You see, but we are still separated even in churches. So for me, when I do that, it's just to say, you know what, I also acknowledge their faith. I also acknowledge how they do things. And I did not necessarily go to that church.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was raised at Apostolic Faith Mission. But that church was close to home. So when they have their night vigils, I would be hearing them when I sleep, hearing their songs. So I think that's how that spirit was downloaded. So I do have that spirit of Amazion. And I love it, man. I love it. I feel like they are also very spiritual, and they've got a special way to connect to their God. And I really acknowledge and appreciate that. Yeah. So hence, I wanted to just represent them and showcase that also.
I would assume or think that Joyous would be your dream as opposed to Spirit of Praise. Because remember, Spirit of Praise started recently. Joyous has been there. So you've never had a dream of going to Joyous?
Honestly, no.
Really?
No.
Well, every musician in the 90s, Joyous.
No, and I think...
And early 2000s.
I think because I've always thought like I'm a superstar.
Hey. What do you mean?
Yes, I've always thought I'm a superstar. So when I looked at Joyous, I'm like, okay, Joyous is good when it comes to producing artists that we didn't know about, just to groom talent from scratch. And I thought, okay, I've already done 2 albums, so if I go to Joyous and be begging, you see, stand there and be begging other artists, I thought, no, I'm not gonna do that. So if only you could go there and they allow you to just come and do your 2 songs and you go backstage
They
and
do.
you don't
Kaya
beg.
Mtetwa did it. Vuyo Mukwena.
No, I think Kaya was part of the begging at some point.
Oh, but
okay, only above
yeah.
because when Joya started, they were already established artists.
Yeah.
You see, so I think I wanted to be like Vuyo.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and sing my songs and not stand at
there.
the choir. So that was my problem with Joyous. So with Spirit, when you go there, you go as an artist.
When you go there, you catch the
So
spirit.
yeah, for me that was the issue. Like, no, man, if Joyous can allow me to go and sing 2 songs, go backstage as an artist, then I would go. But the fact that you had to be part of the choir, that's what made me not to. Yeah.
So now with Spirit of Praise, there's been a lot of rumors about what happens there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard a couple of them. Were you not scared when you went there with, yeah, am I not selling myself?
Not at all, because I believe if you go to a place and you already know who you are confident and comfortable with who you are, there's nothing wrong. Like, and also with me, I'm very streetwise. Most of my career, my musical career, was at the street, takes ranks and all of that. So I think the street really trained me to be independent. So when I go there, I'm not going there to be dependent on Spirit of Praise to do things for me. I'm going there to add value there at Spirit of Praise. And I also believe that when I'm there, they should also add value to me, rather than me going there and being dependent on the company to do things for me. I think that's the difference.
But they've been treating you well?
Yeah, I mean, I know why I'm there, and they know why I'm there. I know why they are in my career and all of that. So
it's
they're doing their part, I'm doing their part. And also, for me, I'm a businessman. So I'm business wise also. So if we talk numbers, I know they are very transparent with the numbers. And when you look at the numbers, you can see that if you had 1,000 streams and the money that you get from 1,000 streams is 100 rand, and you are supposed to share that 100 rand, that's business.
That's how it is.
You look at it, and even if it's not fair to you, but that's business. That's what you signed up for. That's what the numbers are saying. You see, so I read contracts. I read contracts carefully, and I understand contracts. And for me, up until now, I think they're still very fair in what we signed up for. Yeah.
Wow. Talk about contracts, the indemnity you signed.
Yeah.
You can read it word by word.
Yeah.
So it's actually a good trait to have.
Yeah. No,
And
exactly.
It needs to be taught to a lot of musicians.
Exactly. I mean, in one of that, I think I read that if I get injured here, I take responsibility. So
Yes. Just in case a mic falls on you.
Exactly. You see, so I know what I signed up for. So if now this camera can just fall on my foot, I don't have to blame you. So things like that. I mean, it's just simple things like that. You see, you might take it simple, and when you walk out here, this camera falls on you. I'm like, KG, you're paying for my all of that. Can't you know it was there written?
It was there.
You should have read.
Oh, people don't get that.
It's a simple thing. So
read. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
And are you still signed under Hope Arise, or are you signed under Spirit of Praise now?
I'm signed under Hope Arise, and Hope Arise, it's my recording company that I started a couple of years ago. So I do my music under Hope Arise, everything under Hope Arise. So with Spirit of Praise, it's a collaboration deal. So I go there, they feature me on those songs, and that's what we have agreed on. And before they closed music shops, we had a distribution deal with Spirit of Praise. But now that we are no longer selling CDs, then it's just me being part of Spirit of Praise and working there, and that's it.
Oh, wow. So it's a simple...
Simple.
So you still own your music,
Yeah, I
all
own
your
my
compositions,
music.
And do you get paid for coming with a song there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You do get paid for coming with the song, for being featured in the album. You do get paid. And if it's a song that you wrote, you get royalties for your song.
Wow.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to ask you, I was shy to ask you earlier, but I'll ask you now. I always thought that in Hope Arise, it was you and your now ex-wife.
Yeah.
Was it not the case?
Yeah, it was not the case. It was always, yeah.
Because I know she also sings. So I assumed that it was the two of you together.
Yeah, no, well, I wanted to sign her, and I did produce her first single, which was titled Push.
Push, yes.
Pray Until Something Happens. So I did write the song, and I wrote it for, actually I had written the song for myself, but I couldn't see myself singing the song. And I think now if you listen to the song, I don't think you can picture me on that song.
Actually,
it doesn't sound like a song that I would write and sing.
Yeah,
you see, but I had written it for myself, and I'm like, no, this is not for me. And she did the song beautiful. So like she nails that song. She owns it. Actually, you see, so fortunately that's what we did for her under Hope Arise. Yeah.
And do you have any other artists signed under your?
Yeah, what I prefer doing, KG, I don't really want to sign artists and own them and do stuff for them. So I produce artists under Hope Arise. I finance whatever project that we're doing and let them go and do their thing, and establish themselves. And I'm still there to mentor them. I'm still there to guide them and show them the way. So that's what I do, because I don't want to just make them feel like, we are owned, we are not allowed to do 1, 2, 3. You see, so that's what I enjoy doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then, again, artists, I'm not saying you're an old artist now. Yeah. So artists, when they're at the top, on their, I don't want to say, when they're still at the top, they get other artists.
Yeah.
So that if their things are not popping,
yeah.
at least they've got something there.
Yeah.
So you don't have that kind of setup.
For me, my setup is grooming them, mentoring them, producing them, and let them be. So I focus more on that. I don't really have artists signed under me that I can say, you know what, I will cash out with this artist. No, I don't have. The only artist signed under Hope Arise is Takie Ndou for now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And you and Lunginda, every DVD you are there.
Yeah.
What's the deal there? Are you guys, have you guys been friends for long?
Yeah, we've been friends for long. Actually, when I came to Joburg, I think we came the same year, 2000. And he was in another group in Pretoria. I was in another group in Joburg. So the groups used to meet a lot and perform together. And I was a drummer. So at times I would go to Pretoria, play drums for a couple of artists. So that's how we started knowing each other. And when he did his first recording, first DVD, he featured me. Unfortunately, I was still signed under another company that did not allow the song to be released. So it was a painful thing. Yeah, you see. Yes. We also did a Shangan song together, proper beautiful song, man. It was not released,
No, man, you did
that was my performance.
What song did you do?
We do a song together with Pastor Lungi.
I was there,
I remember. Yeah, so the song was not released. It was painful, man. So,
but I'm sure you can release it now.
Yeah. Actually, I think Pastor Lungi released it.
Did he?
I think, probably during lockdown or just before lockdown, he released the song.
I hope like it's
Yeah.
Oh yes, you did 2 songs at the end.
Yeah.
I remember.
So Pastor Lungi is a good friend of mine. He's a pastor, obviously, but we're still good friends. And I mean, he's a humble man. He just loves people. His heart for God is amazing. So.
I have to say that. Remember, he's my pastor. So
yeah.
I have to say that.
Exactly. No. I just love it.
Even on this one, you did a song.
Bumboni.
Yes.
Bumboni, beautiful song about testimony.
Ne? Yeah. Do you get paid per feature?
Man, with my friends, it's just we're trying to adopt. You see what the Amapiano guys do. Abo Kabza, Lebo Maporis and all of that. You go into the studio, you find them doing a beat, you're like, let me throw in a line, man. So we're trying to create that culture also with gospel, because it has been more centered on money. Like you would call a person, hey, I want to do a song with you, and they tell you, no, I charge 50,000 to be featured on a song, and you're like, yo, you are my friend. I thought we are friends.
Yeah.
Is it? But you want to get paid, and then now they want to bring the issue of royalties and all of that. So it becomes complicated. But I think if we can just focus on ministry first, and if we have to deal with logistics, yes, we don't have to be ignorant about that. But I believe that relationship and the fact that we're pushing ministry should come first. So that's the relationship that I have with Pastor Lungi. That's the relationship I have with Rofhiwa. That's the relationship I have with Pastor Colin. Most of the time we don't talk money. I've called them to come and do some of my stuff, and then they just get surprised. I'm like, hey, bro, send me your account. Then I send something. That's how we work.
I thought it was an envelope.
No, now it's accounts. You see, so that's how we work.
Yeah.
You see, so whatever you can be able to thank me. If you don't have nothing, it's still okay. I'll come and do my best. You get what I'm saying? So for me, that's the relationship and the culture that we're trying to create.
The same applies in church. If I say come and sing at my church,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
the same applies.
Really?
Yeah. If Pastor Lungi calls me now, it's like, hey, I'm doing a conference, my friend, are you available? If I'm available, we don't talk money. I'm available, okay, come. I go. If he's got something to give me, he will. If he doesn't have, it's still okay.
Still okay.
Yeah, I'm there to support a friend.
But other churches, there's an invoice.
No, other churches, obviously, what they need to understand is that because I hate that language that, you're just serving God. And I always tell them, yes, I understand that very well. And I serve at my church every Sunday at Grace Mission Church in Centurion. That's where I serve for free. I submit under the man of God. But once I get out, that's when my gift is creating room for me.
Yeah.
So if the gift will not create an empty room. That's not what the Bible says. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now when you call me, then there must be an invoice, because now you also must honor anointing. And how do you honor anointing? By investing in the anointing. So you cannot call me and you're telling me I'm coming to serve. Then it means you're not honoring the anointing that you want in your church at that moment. Because if we talk about serving, I'm serving at Grace Mission Church in Centurion. But once I get out of my church, then it's ministry now. I go there as Takie Ndou.
Takie Ndou.
Yeah.
They must pay for all those years. Huh?
No, I think they're just appreciating the gift. And one thing about me, KJ, that I've learned is I'm available to go to any kind of church. Small churches, big churches. There's a weekend that was really, really funny. The Saturday, I just sang for about 15,000 people in one of the big churches in South Africa. The next Sunday morning, I drove to the villages. I was singing for about 25 people.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? And at the big church, they paid me what I charged. They asked me how much to charge. I told them, and they paid me that. At the small church in the villages, I told them how much I charged. They told me they can't afford. And they could afford probably 20% of what I could charge. So if I was charging 1,000, they could only afford 200. And I still went there. And the reason I went there was the fact, I looked at the fact that these people need my ministry. And they cannot afford when it comes to monetary value. But for them to raise that 200, they would have done everything they can. You see, for that big church to raise what I charge, it's probably nothing. Probably just one person just decided, don't worry, I'll cover Takie. But for that church, they had to come together and raise that money. And you see, for that, I respected that. And that's why I went there. So I do go to different churches. And it's not necessarily about the invoice or how much I charge. It's about how much they honor the anointing.
Wow. Wow. So, hey. You see, let's open a church. You'll come this way. So, in closing, what challenges did you have with being booked, especially by churches?
Yeah.
Do you believe they respect you at your level?
Yeah, some churches do, but there are those kind of churches that you would go there and they want to prove to you that you are nothing. They undermine you, and yeah, you're just an artist. is you're just there to sing and go. And they don't really give it. Not that they should honor me and respect and do all sorts of things, but just the attitude. You can feel, you can sense it. So for me, you get that once in a while, but I understand that churches are different, and I don't expect the same treatment in all churches, so it's different.
So, but the biggest challenge is you've got a certain standard of your music. And most churches, well, some churches will say, no, come to our church, the band will play for you. Do you agree to such?
Yeah, I do. I do agree. And some churches, yes, they wouldn't interpret the music properly, the way they're supposed to. But remember, mostly when we go to church, like I told you in the beginning, it's not about the brand Takie Ndou. It's also about serving. And one thing I've also learned is that when you go there and you sing with them and those people are still learning, you empower them. You leave something. There's a seed that you leave on them. Like you've done something that no one can do for them. Some of them, it's their dream just to sing with Takie on stage. It's their dream just to play for Takie. So when I go there, I don't look for perfection. I just look for people that are willing to serve at that moment. And I know that the standard is not going to be the standard of the brand Takie Ndou. But that's when I need to humble myself and know that here it's not about the brand. This is about serving.
Wow.
And empowering people.
I don't know if my next question is necessary, because I was going to say, especially gospel artists, they cry about technical writers. It's not adhered to. You get the drama, the keyboard is... That must, diminish from your music, and from what you're trying to deliver. But when are we going to get to a point where, as gospel artists, we are, that level excellence, man? It is. We're doing an event with Mikasa not so long ago. We brought a wrong bass amp. They said we're not performing. But no.
Well.
And they're absolutely right.
Well, I think when it comes to professional shows, I do that. I do that also. Okay, I don't do it personally, but my band is very strict with their technical right. I'm sure you've worked with them so many times. And I appreciate that about them because they want to give you the best performance that you can get. So they must get the right equipment. And if the service provider can provide that, then why not? You see, but at times we are also willing to compromise. Whatever we're looking for is not really, if they're looking for TC Electronics bass amp and it's not there, we'll also look for something that is equivalent to that. You get what I'm saying? So,
it's only the gospel guys that compromise. Those
I understand. I mean, also the heart issue.
Look, but I wanted to say, your heart is in the right place in terms of you're a church, you're a man now, I didn't say church boy. You're a church man at heart, It means you understand, which I feel like, at a certain level it's going to catch up to you, but...
Yeah, the show that I just did recently, I went to a place and it was a gospel event. Like when you go to gospel event, you encounter a lot of egos. I've done a lot of secular events also, and you don't see those kind of things. I don't know why it happens with gospel, because that's where it's not supposed to happen. You see? So we were there, and I was sitting backstage with this other artist, and artists come, they're fighting to sing. No, I want to sing now. No, I want to sing before woo-woo. Hey, I can't sing after woo-woo. And all that drama was happening. And we just relaxed there. They keep coming, telling us, hey, can we shift you? It's okay. Hey, can we shift you? It's okay. Can you perform after? It's okay. And I'm dead. And you are right to say, you know what, one day it might catch up with me. And I told that man, we are paying for being humble. You see, because the fact that you are humble, you are the only people that they can be able to come and just say, can we shift you? So sometimes people take advantage of the humility, you see. So it happens in some spaces where maybe I have to be a bit rigid to say, you booked me to perform at 10 p.m., I'm performing at 10 p.m. and go. Because other artists do that, and that is professionalism. It is. You see, but sometimes... I think sometimes I'm too understanding.
No, you've changed nicely. Before we close, do you have a question?
No. just a remark, Njoli. Your humble beginnings are just amazing.
No, thank you, man.
And I've listened to quite a number of your interviews. Even there's a show that you did during lockdown with Hendrik. And that's where I got to know a bit more about you.
Okay.
But in terms of, I think in terms of KG, what he's doing and asking questions that people are not asking, and
exactly.
we get to respect you even more, get to know more about you. Is actually really, really good for even upcoming artists to understand where you're coming from and what you are all about. But otherwise, I'm just blown away by your humbleness and just how you do things, your professionalism. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And he was on time, eh? You were on time. And just to add to that, how I asked you, can you come? I mean, you've been interviewed in big places, and you came here.
In our humble beginnings.
And you said, no, I'll be there. I was expecting a fight because a lot of artists, I don't know, I'll be there. So thank you very much. But before you go, I want to ask you this. What would you like to see change in the gospel music industry?
Simple. For me, just to eliminate competition and jealousy. There is a lot of competition in the gospel industry. People used to say that, and I used to disagree because maybe I didn't have the heart of competition, so I didn't see it. But the more you get involved in the industry, the more you start being exposed to all these things, you realize, there is really a competition, and it is a hidden competition. So people don't show you direct. You see, you only see behind the backs. Now you start realizing, and God shows you these things if you are spiritual. You see, so you start seeing all these things. And God exposes people. You see, and jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy, man. People will come and say, Take, well done, you did well. And when they move, then they go to the next person, they're like, you shouldn't even have done that. This thing is gonna be a flop. You see, I've learned to realize that, and I wish if you could just pray away that spirit, we can become a very, very strong industry, gospel industry. So I think that's one thing I would change, man. Competition and jealousy.
And it should not even be there in gospel, eh?
Exactly, but
bad.
Yes.
Hey, cool, bad. The jealousy out there.
Exactly.
Especially if you know different people.
Yeah.
And you think people are tight.
Yeah.
Then you hear a story from the... Oh my God,
exactly.
People are friends.
Exactly.
Gospel shit,
people keep criticizing each other. And that's one thing that I learned after my break, coming back into the industry, because I decided to get a lot of mentors. So Tabs David was mentoring me. Bishop Benjamin Dube was mentoring me. My pastor Edgar Nelbarani is still my mentor even now. Even Bishop is still my mentor. So one day I met with Pastor Soli Mahlangu, and he told me that, you know what, boy, don't ever find yourself in a position where you are criticizing other artists. Never speak bad about any artist. If you're doing it, do it in your closet. So it means you're doing it alone.
Alone.
Yeah, but don't do it with people. Don't criticize any artist with any other artist. And since that day, I learned not to do it. You will never find me speaking bad about any other artist. I'd rather just hold my comment and keep it to myself. But that's one thing that I've learned, and I think it has saved me, and it has created a good relationship between me and almost the whole gospel industry.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow. And the last question I've got for you is, if you were not born, what would we miss out on?
You would miss out on the hope that my music gives to people, man. I think that's one thing that, man, I get testimonies. I received a DM during lockdown. This man tells me, you know what, I was just driving around, and that day I decided that my life ends today. I'm going to kill myself. I wanted to commit suicide. And as I was driving on the radio station that I was listening to, they decided to play Unandaba. And that song saved my life. Thank you for that music. So those are the things that I think maybe we would have missed out on. Maybe that man would have killed himself if there was no Take Ndou to sing that song.
Wow. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
People have difficulties answering that question.
Yeah.
And it's not pride. It's,
Yeah.
You know you know your value. You know what you're putting on the table. It's not pride. If I was not here, you know, you're saving lives.
Yeah.
Take Ndou.
So much. No.
And no lebong Amanda. You know, as I was preparing for this, I wanted to say, Venda, but I realized, hey, don't have me.
Exactly. No. Thank you for having me, man. And
no, but as a token of our appreciation,
Yeah.
as you go preach, as you spread the gospel, man, what's always that other one?
I was scared because I've seen this kind of bottles that comes out of this kind of boxes.
Where's that other one?
And they would say, this bottle is 15 years.
No, this one is extra matured.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate
This is just a token of our appreciation.
Thank you so
when you
much.
go minister,
Wow.
please.
I need this, man. I really needed this.
No, you've got this.
Yo, this is beautiful, bro. Yo.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, this is beautiful.
So
Gospel
when
reality. This is
Yes, there we go.
I love it.
So when you go perform,
Wow.
when you put cold water, it stays
Wow, I
cold for a
love it.
very long time.
I love it.
If you put hot water,
Yeah, with ginger and lemon, you know.
you know.
You know gospel artists.
Yeah. So this is our small token of appreciation to say thank you very much for coming through.
Love it.
We're trying to be, professional.
No.
like you.
I love this. And the color is just amazing.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here at the Gospel Reality Podcast. What a beautiful interview with this man. Just beautiful interview, man. Please make sure you follow us and make sure the artists, please don't forget our wall is still missing about 30 DVDs up top there. So please make sure you get in contact with me and let's make sure we put you out there. Other than that, Akhoto Ebelelo.